Well, hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and we are going to walk through the Izanami quest line. So you finished the Volunder Forge, you've gone through the Gofana quest line, and it's time to see how we get this next forge open. Some of you guys may have done it already, some of you guys may be leveling up to get to this, so I'm just going to show you guys all the pieces. There's one final piece that is kind of basically a nightfall at a high level. I'll do that in a separate video, so we'll get up into that point, and then that will be a separate run, but this will be on my Titan. I did that on my Warlock first and soloed it. I think the Warlock actually might be the easiest class to do it on, but the Titan may be the hardest, so I figured I'd do it on that. But anyways, when you're on the Izanami quest line, basically you finished Volunder and you finished the Gofana Forge, your next thing you're going to need to do to basically kick off the quest is get that item to drop, quote, item, you can't see me, but the item to drop that's going to kick the quest off. This one's going to be the Vex Transponder. You get this by defeating Vex. Best place I've found that's usually pretty easy to do it is right here in Artifact's Edge. So there's a couple places. Once you kind of start up on the portal top section up here, if I let me back up to the top, I don't know. I was standing off to the side. But you'll have a couple places. You'll have this main area kind of below the, elevator where enemies are going to spawn. And also back in here, you're always going to have some Vex. Now, some people say like, kinetic precision kills, maybe. I mean, I got mine, I think the first time just randomly. The other one took quite a bit longer. So just keep killing Vex. And the nice thing is right here, there's also a lost sector. So right over here, the Ori, not quite the Quarry, but the Ori. If you go in there, you've got plenty of Vex to shoot in there as well. So somewhere in this area is a nice place to have access. And then if you finish the lost sector and you still don't have it for some reason, jump back out to the Artifact's Edge and you can probably find plenty more. So it's a nice place if you need to repeat a lot of Vex, and it's a good place to find quite a few. If you guys are catching this live on Twitch, thank you guys for tuning in. Drive Luna, what is going on? So once you actually have the Vex Transponder drop, then it's going to say, hey, this Curious Vex device is receiving a signal with a signature close to one used by the Black Armory. Defeat Vex anywhere on Nessus to track the signal's origin. So literally what I was saying, you got to kill Vex to get the thing to drop, and then you got to kill Vex to actually get this thing to know what the heck is going on. So same principle as before, whole bunch of Vex right here in front of you. If they don't just keep spawning, or you have a lot of people around you that are working on leveling up, that's up to you. Where you do the Vex grinding, easy place. I'm just gonna go jump into the lost sector once I grab this ammo, though, and that's a nice place to knock it out. So we're gonna go finish killing these Vex. I'm gonna jump ahead till I kill the last one, and we'll see what the next step is. But the lost sector, you'll see this little cave underneath here. You'll always have a few to shoot, pretty easy, quick ones. I'm gonna take that heavy ammo though. And then the lost sector is just always tucked right underneath. I was just going to load me up on heavy. That's nice, but your lost sector is in there, so I'm going to jump in there, shoot a bunch of Vex, and we'll get to the next part once it shows up. Alright, Guardians, so once you have your 100 Vex killed, your Vex Transponder is going to change Transponder Signal Lost. The Vex seem to have predicted your movement. The signal has been jammed by a powerful conflict in the Hallows. So you are specifically going to have to go to the Hallows. There are two places this public event can happen. So it's complete a heroic Spire integration public event to clear the interface. So, easy place to do it. You're going to learn to love the Hallows, that's what I was saying. So, right here, load in, go down into the Hallows, and wait for the public event in there. So, I'll show you guys where it's at from here. So, in case you're new, you're not quite sure. We're going to go ahead and drive this way, and then once the public event actually starts, then I'll go ahead and kick this thing back off. But for now, I'll just show you guys where the public event is at, and then I'll show you guys how to make it heroic. Most of you know, but if you don't, time to learn. So you jump down in this giant hole. A guy over there across the way with some crazy symbol on his name. Probably waiting for the same thing. Be good if my Titan could jump. And it's right here. So you literally just fall down, go to the left over that hill, and it's this area right here. So you'll be waiting for public event to happen. It does specifically have to be in this area, so that's why it says Power Conflicts in the Hallows. Complete a heroic Spire integration public event to clear the interference. So we're going to wait on this public event. It does kind of suck that it's RNG, but nice thing is if you're looking on killing Vex while you're doing this, just watch out on the map. Shoot Vex, kind of do it over and over. If you see it coming up, well, time to go into quick mode. but try and catch this public event. Otherwise, you know, if you got to go do random bounties for triumphs, anything else, just wait for this public event. So we're going to get back when this public event gets going. All right, Guardians, so we are in the Hallows. I'm just standing up on a rock, but the public event is getting ready to start. You're going to have 3 little platforms that you have to stand on to make this heroic. Anytime you do a public event, by the way, please make sure you make it heroic. Most people need it for some reason or whatsoever, so try not to burn a public event. But there's usually one down here in the bottom. There's usually one somewhere here and one over off to the left. There's 3 of them. I'll try and point them out to you guys once this thing gets started. You have to stand in those and kind of let the timer tick all the way up. And doing it solo is tough. If you got 2 people at least, hopefully they know what they're doing. And while you stand in those, there's going to be some ads that spawn. But you also need to watch the center section as well. So here, we're going to have the public event that starts. And you need to find these little platforms that start spawning. So, down here, it's going to be kind of hard to see. They're little nubs on the ground. But if I walk over here, you'll notice that this will actually appear. Normally it's just got this little notch on the ground, but I kind of know where to walk, so that's why I'm standing here. So I'm going to do this. I hope the dude up there knows what he's doing. Since I'm tucked down here, I'm not even able to see what's going on in the middle. But the other thing you want to watch out for is these guys, the disintegrators. They're basically like fanatics. They're going to be charging at you, and they basically continually spawn. So you're going to have ads up top. You'll see the integrations remaining. That's going to be one of those things you need to watch just in case it does get out of hand or somebody's not watching the middle. Puddles seems to be doing all right up in the middle. Thank you, Puddles. And also Vanilla Ice. This is an amazing combination of names right now. I don't even know what to do with that. But yeah, hold down your platform. You want to get yours up to 100%, and then make sure you go work on the others as well if somebody isn't covering those. If you have 3 people like in here, if you have a fire team, you can manage one of each, and usually somebody can see the center section. If you see the integration starting to go down, jump off, go clear out the center, you know, try and communicate. So this one is done. So once it's 100%, so Puddles is working on this one. He's capturing this one for about 9%. I'm going to throw a grenade, and then I'm going to go check on the far one since he is busy. Make sure this one... Okay, I think we're 2 out of 3. Gotta watch the center. We're going to have some ads to kill. Minotaurs start coming in. They get a little angry. So I think he got the other one probably about the same time I did. So now we're both working on this center one. And this is where you can see most of the ads that'll walk towards the center as well. So you should be able to keep this one pretty clean. It is a somewhat tight space. When all the enemies start coming out, it gets a little crazy. So far, we're pretty good. We're up to 86. I'm hoping the other one's done. Oh, see, and that's one of those guys that's trying to integrate. Sounds kind of dirty if you think about it, but hopefully nobody underage got that joke. All right, so heroic event is going, so that's what you have to do is stand on all 3. The other one is probably somewhere in this region over here. Just have to look for the little nub on the ground. And then at this point, just kill everything and survive for about a minute and a half. That's all you got to do. So now's the time to use supers, start chaining stuff. Gets to be entertaining when everything starts exploding. And the more you can chain, if you got groups of people, the more orbs you're going to have, and people really can start chaining supers, which helps everybody. So yeah, the more things that explode, the better off you'll be. And then just start chaining supers. Heavy weapons, Thunderlords, of course, amazing. All that good stuff will happen. And just keep an eye out if there's anything in the middle that's like still trying to do its integration thing, where it looks like it's, you know, kind of trying to materialize in Vex fashion. Just kill it. That's always fun to watch from an outside perspective. That guy's using the hammerhead. I will say the Black Armory weapons sound pretty cool. The Tatara gaze so far is kind of my favorite because it literally sounds like a 50 cal machine gun. Hey, 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 no, not you. You're not sneaking in the back. And sometimes you'll just have some teleport and you won't even see them, and they'll just like get by or walk around the backside or something like that. Super's already up again. That dude. Sorry, buddy. You got a little while if they start to integrate, but definitely don't let them sit there too long. But I mean, if you have to get 10 and you're at 9, not a big deal. You just can't let it get down to 0. And public event is just about done. Vex Transponder has changed. I'm going to grab my chest and go see what is next. Go ahead and celebrate with Puddles. There we go. Good stuff. Bam. Knocked that one out of the park. So what is next? So the signal is clear, which narrows the search area. Destroy Vex Minotaurs in the Artifact's Edge, the Hallows, the Glade of Echoes, and the Watcher's Grave to calibrate the device further. Now, on this one, there are multiple places you can do this. and it depends on if you've done all of the adventures to give yourself an option. But if you haven't done all the adventures on your character, or you have them unlocked, I forget how they have them set up now. One of the easiest ones to do, if you go to your map, it's in the Tangle, and it's called Release. Whether it's the heroic of the day, whether you have to unlock them to get to it, Release is probably the easiest one. Now, there are other places you can do it. If you go to Artifact's Edge, you go down in the Ori, there's usually a Minotaur in there. You can kill that one and just reload it over and over. Doesn't take too long. Reloading's kind of annoying. Sometimes out in Artifact's Edge, and I'll go there, there's going to be some Minotaurs that will actually spawn. There's usually one kind of towards the back cave. Sounds like Bat Cave, but I said back cave, so that's fun. Hold the phone. Okay, so basically what I'm talking about, you'll have usually some ads spawning up in this region here. Usually there's a Minotaur down there, and then also down under here, the Lost Sector can have some Minotaurs. But for me, the adventures seem to honestly be the quickest one. I've got a tip coming from Twitch as I'm recording this, so Artsy, if you want to throw it in there, feel free. Spawn in the center and stay in the back spawn point. They will spawn nonstop if no one runs over them. Yeah, so part of the issue here is just the fact that if you can manage to get this area, like, alone, you can probably do it over and over, because there's a Minotaur. So, prime example of the one I'm talking about. And they're really not hard to kill. And if you're far enough away, these guys do spawn, like, a lot. Just got to kill all the ads. So once those guys are down, if nobody's standing over there, they will keep spawning. So you'll notice this, as long as nobody's standing up there. If they're standing up there, that's where you're going to start to kind of get a little hosed, because somebody's going to mess up the spawn because they're standing on the spawn point. So that's why that part gets kind of tough. The other option, we're going to go and find the Tangle Release, because it is 20, and this thing has quite a few. I'll show you guys this adventure. And honestly, like the quickest one, if nobody is in your instance of Artifact's Edge, that's probably the quickest, because you guys saw I stood there, killed all the ads, and then they spawned again. And you can just sit there and farm that over and over, which is probably going to work pretty well if nobody comes in. If somebody jumps in on your fun, maybe go out to orbit and then come back and see if you can get a separate instance. It's just one of those pieces where it is dependent on people being in that area. And if you have access to this adventure, it's pretty quick. And then once you start it, it goes really fast. So, because you can honestly just exit out of the adventure and then do it again. So, let me go ahead and see if I can figure out where the heck the entrance to this is. I think I'm just going to have to drop down. So, Geronimo down below. Here we go. Yep. Down here in this lower section. Go ahead and start the adventure. All right. So run in the cave, and I think this is the right one. If not, I'm really going to have to cut this part of the video out, but I'm pretty sure this is the one. So run in the cave. And if I'm in the right spot, should be good. So once you run in, you're going to have little sections with Minotaurs pretty much all the time. So Minotaur opens a door. And then come ahead. And another Minotaur. Good luck, Captain. So another Minotaur. Another Minotaur. This is why, like, if you have this one set up this way, it is definitely the quickest way that I know, if you can do this just a couple times. And all you have to do is just not finish the Lost Sector, or the adventure, and you can probably do it all again. So, couple Vex. There's another Minotaur. So there's quite a few in here. As you kill some ads, you're going to drop some shields on the Fallen that seem to be out and around. And if the guys get annoying and you die for some reason, oh no, you just start it over and do it again. It's really not world ending. And then as you come through here, Minotaur. And heavy ammo, because they're going to be nice to me. And should have some more. Oh, come on. Some Minotaur here. You guys get the idea. So if you run through here, you get fairly far. You can honestly just abandon, go to orbit, kill most of the ads, and then you can just do it all over again. So if you finish it, you may not have access to it. Or if you haven't done all the adventures on a planet, you may not have access as well. But if you do, this is probably my recommendation. Or just a way to give yourself a break if farming the Artifact's Edge gets annoying or people are spawning on top of you. So, I'm going to finish up this run of killing Minotaurs. So at this point, basically, I'm just going to go back to orbit, drive over here again. Pretty quick drive, and gets me, you know, quite a few in one run. I don't think there's anything too crazy back here, but I have to clear the room. So at this point, I'm going to go back, and we're going to do this again. Alright, Guardians, as I finish up the grind, there's one more I did want to point out. So, easy one, Artifact's Edge. If nobody's getting in the way, just stand back and shoot the stuff in that cave back there. It's probably the quickest. You can go into this adventure. So I showed this one up here. The release has a pretty good chunk. Watcher's Grave, you could have some roaming around out here. You could have the public event if you've got some of that to deal with as well. The Hallows public event is actually still a reasonable one to do. But finally, there's one over here on Exodus Black. So, if you load in, jump, and you're up on the little landing platform up here, drive your Sparrow off to the right, and it's in this little area with like 3 shanks and a teleporter. So you'll see these 3. Apparently everything just exploded. That was a little excessive. Run in here. And once you get in this cave, you're going to see the joyous things that you need to shoot. So, Minotaur. Couple ads. And apparently the tip, shout out to my Twitch chat, give me, even me some pointers for you guys. Run into the portal. Hang out here. Maybe do one whole emote. Give it like 10 seconds. Chill. Good old rock reference here. Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery. Great movie. Give it a little bit. Run back out. See if things got a chance to respawn. And hey, guess what? We're back. Where's the Minotaur? Okay. Apparently I didn't kill everything or didn't wait long enough. Let's try that one more time. Maybe a little farther from the portal. Give it some space. Run out here for like 3 or 4 seconds. U-turn. Turn back around. Give them some space. See if we can get some stuff to... There's still people above me, so it's like they're still in the instance, which is interesting. She was the homecoming queen. Good call. There we go. Minotaur is back. Fanatic. See if anything else is in here. Should be clear. So that should pretty much wrap it up. I've got one more. And the final Minotaur kill. New quest activity available. Alright, let's go hide in a little corner over here so I don't get killed. And 20 Minotaurs later, we have the source of the Vex Transponder signal has been located. Go to this unexplored area of Nessus and track the signal that is using a Black Armory signature. Signal origin located. So you pull up your map. It's going to be over here in the Hallows, and we're going to go ahead and do Rekindle the Flames. So I'm going to head in there in just a little bit and show you guys where it's at. So here we go. Alright, Guardians, we are going to go Rekindle the Flames. Black Armory signature. This will be kind of a quest mission type thing. To the source of the Vex Transponder has been located. Go to the unexplored area of Nessus and track the signal. Track the signal that is using the Black Armory signature. So once you're over here in Artifact's Edge, you're just going to drive back into the Hallows and pretty much go straight to where the public event is at, and it's just a little new portal that's on the back wall. You may have actually seen it while you were doing the public event itself, but it's just one you probably don't think much of. It may just look like a Vex piece of wall texture, but it is actually a new thing. So we're going to drive down in here and go to it. Of course, a public event is waiting. If you got a rally flag you can hit, maybe it's a good time to grab a rally flag if it's there. Otherwise, I completely missed it. So I've got to go... Where to go? Wait, did I lose it? No, it's right here. Oh, yeah, so it is this portal over on the wall. So you've got the public event space over to your left. Just kind of skip over that. And I'm going to avoid the public event. And we're going to walk right in the portal. So you can actually walk straight in here. The flooring is definitely not straight, so keep that in mind. And enjoy the music. Public event's still going to stay there, so I guess I'll fail that one, which is cute. Got some low ceilings in here. Might have to crouch slide under a couple of them. But now we are in the tour. So, rekindle the flames. Recommended power. Let's start this mission. Alright, Guardians, so once you're here, you're going to be Black Armory signature, find the signal's emitter. We're going to go ahead and jump forward. If you look around, there's going to be kind of a lot of space around you that you can jump around to. You can't really get that far. I've moseyed around that underneath area. There's not much really to get to. There's a couple boxes and stuff you'll notice, just like every other forge. But generally, there's not too much back there that I could find. So we're going to go ahead and hit the portal. See what we've got going on up here. Going to have some ads to deal with. I'll just land and punch that one square in the face. Now this is going to be a higher level area, so you definitely want to be high level. And I think that's one thing that is actually helping the newer forges. You can't just walk in at 600. You really have to be about 620, 630 to be able to get to the forge, which makes the people you find in the forges a little bit higher as well. So I do think that's a good thing. But it's like if they just would have spaced it out a little bit more for the newer forge and when the content actually launched, they probably would have had a little better reception than they did originally, because they locked, like, I mean, even if I'm 600 and I couldn't do it straight away, that was kind of a bummer. Alright, so that should be just about everything. Get some orbs picked up here, plenty of ammo. So this thing is kind of busted right now, so let's see. Go ahead and hack this one. I'll have my super up from my go figure in no time. So we pretty much have to clear each area, and then kind of thought it'd be done at that point. But clear each area, and then you see I've got the other two sides as well. You're going to have some more ads that appear up top, so watch out for those. If you don't want to get shopped from above, you might want to clear those out. I don't know if they keep spawning, but I'm going to clear these few out. Just because that went really smooth. There we go. And you can pick which side you want to go to. You should be able to jump down to them. They are somewhat farther away. But if you want to play this a little safer, if you're like not the most optimal level, you can do some of the work from above, which will give you some alternative options. At this point, you probably should be able to jump down here, keep clearing out the ads. Again, Rampage on my Go figure is, this is just like my favorite gun. Okay, so I got a big Harpy here. Definitely put some work in, heavy, Ikelos, whatever you got. And then when you get a chance, come under here, and we're going to go ahead and hack this one. So as that one hacks, we're going to have some more ads that go. So you got to kind of defend your position. So again, if you're not the most optimal level, you could, you know, use some cover back here to hide, peek and shoot some of these guys. I don't think there's any more majors, just that one. Mostly goblins and harpies, pretty quick and easy. Not really any shielded guys as well, which does make it a little more manageable. I don't know if there's a dude above. Where'd you go? There. Alright, so 2 are down. So you actually got to kind of launch yourself back to the top and then get to the other side. Grab the portal, hop over. Got some more ads in the middle. So again, clear those out just so you have a safe landing zone. And so nothing's killing you from above. And again, watch the hobgoblins. Just them alone are going to be a bit rough. Just because their snipes are going to hurt a lot. So focus on the hobgoblins. Even if you need to pop a shield, run behind some cover, come at them from a separate angle. That one harpy is probably just going to be the hardest to kill. Same thing if you want to go heavy. Goes pretty quick. It's really annoying that my Thunderlord cannot be masterworked. Otherwise, that would have been a long time ago. Final one over here. Again, look for your hobgoblins. Those will be the quicker ones to kill. Got a Minotaur down on the bottom of this one. Those are down. Got more ads spawning. I don't know if they infinitely spawn if I'm up here. Hopefully they don't. No ads do seem to be spawning behind me, which kind of keeps me a safe place to work from up here. Lets you hopefully not get overrun by too much down below. There we go. Okay, maybe I'm just going to get a few sets of ads. Let's just test this theory. If I get... Oh, there's Big Boy. Alright, so if that's everything, then maybe doing it from far away might make this actually even easier. So I'm going to go ahead and hack this. Excuse me, Mr. Goblin. Thanks. I'll take that heavy. All 5 bullets of it. So you got a few more ads. But it did help clearing out the major because that one should not spawn again. Makes this part a little bit easier. Alright, so free the forge. Now's another time if you can see if anything's up top before you jump up there. Don't really have a great place to do it. Your jumping pod is up here at the front. Again, look for cover if you need it to get started. Grenade, something like that. You can even come back here where you landed. Give yourself a little extra space to work with. And look for the big guys up top. So, we're going to have a dude with a ton of health, I will tell you now. So you've got a Fallen Saboteur with the little shield drones, which are not going to be easy. I say Saboteur. Is he actually called a Saboteur? Proto-Sentinel Galadex. It is a Forged Saboteur. Okay, so still a Forged Saboteur. But now, the fun part. So that's one way to put some damage in. I mean, that is melting point, so that's going to make a difference. If you got Well of Radiance, Tether, all those things are probably going to be a good idea. Of course, Thunderlord going to put in some work. Not a full clip, but a reload here will be fast. Couple adds the kill. Make sure you're not getting too overrun. Watch for Fanatics. And again, Thunderlord is a nice one. Any machine gun's probably still going to put out a lot of damage, so keep that in mind. And let's see if we can finish him up real quick without too much coming at me. He's done, and he is finally down. Alright, so we're going to hack finally up here once again after everything's dead, and this will help us unlock the final forge. There we go. I say final unlock of this forge. There's still one more to go that we don't even know anything about yet, so that's fun. Ghost, of course, doing his scanning thing. They are experts at that after about 4 years. Wait for it. And the forge has been unlocked. It's kind of cool how you look at the ground actually has been like curved to where it's landed. But now you'll notice we've got a new quest step. Now the mission's going to end, so I'll talk about that quest step when I get right back outside. Alright, Guardians, I have been kicked back to orbit. It says you found the lost Izanami forge, but the forge has something unexpected. Show the item to Ada 1 who may be able to identify it, so you guys know where we're going. Back to the tower.
So you discovered the Exodus Black carried not one, but 2 forges. Yet another forge means more vessels, new weapons to craft and... Wait. That isn't a vessel. That's the forge's igniter. How did you... And it's... broken? The forge is useless until the igniter is repaired and reattached. Until then, consider my enthusiasm curbed.
Well, sassy as always, rekindle the flames with the discovery of the Izanami forge on the Exodus Black. Ada 1 now believes there could be even more lost forges to reclaim, but first, the Izanami forge needs to be reignited. Gather the necessary components to reignite the broken igniter. Alright, Guardians, so now we have the broken Izanami igniter. Collect components from the heroic versions of the following public events to begin repairing the igniter. We have the fallen Glimmer Extraction, which is the 3-phase one in a certain zone. It's not the servitor one, it's the other one. You've got the Hive Witch's Ritual, which you can do on Titan, on the rig, which is in that room kind of by the landing zone, or you can do it on Mars. And then the Spire integration is the one we've already done, but you can do that just wherever you can find that thing. It doesn't have to specifically be in the Hallows. So, let's go through the map real quick. Glimmer Extraction can be in multiple places. On Nessus, you can have it in the Glade of Echoes, or you can have it over in the Tangle. I've had it in both, and I've got neither of those up right now. Because I know the Hallows is the one one of the ones we're looking for, so let's go do that one. You guys know how that one works. When I see one of the other public events, I'm going to cut to those just so I can explain how to make them heroic. But I'm going to do the Hallows real quick and then cut to the other public events so you guys know how to make those heroic. So see you guys in the next public event. Alright, Guardians, so the public event in the Trostland is one that I can guarantee is going to be the proper one. Now, sometimes in the Sludge or the Gulch, I've seen it. There's a couple places on Nessus I've seen it, but the Glimmer Extraction is what's coming up here in the Trostland. So once it starts, I'll explain how to make it heroic, and then we'll finally do the one with the Hive and the Summoning Ritual. So I'm going to cut to head to where the public event actually starts. Alright, Guardians, it's getting ready to kick off. Main thing is, basically, you're going to have this little 4 things that spawn, and then there's one 5th one that spawns a little bit later. It's a smaller kind of little glimmer shooting machine, whatever you want to call it. That's what you have to kill in each of the zones. If you do that 3 times, there's a pile of glimmer that will sit on the ground, and then you have to sit in it to transmat it. So, should spawn here at the top. It can spawn in any of the 3 corners of this little section. Currently it's up at the top, but typically you'll be in all 3 of them, so I'll show you guys where to look for each piece. So this is the actual big Glimmer Extractor, and these are the 4 things that are actually going to be putting in the work. Now you're going to have fallen extractors, you're going to have 3 of them, of the regular extractors, and then the captain is going to be the other one. Main thing you need to kill is this thing right here. Now depending on how quickly some people kill the fallen extractors, you may actually run out of time if you're using something like a, hand cannon or a pulse rifle. If it's a primary, and you try and kill that thing just slowly by shooting it, and then people kill the captain, you may not actually have enough time. So bring a shotgun, preferably full auto if you're doing this one, or heavyweight, something like that where you can do quite a bit of damage in a short period of time. So then at this point, you're going to wait for it to either go over here on the right or kind of tucked in the spawn corner on the left. Hopefully those guys can leave me alone, so let's come up to the front. So up here we've got phase 2. You can see it floating in the air again. And the little glimmer pod that you actually have to shoot will always spawn in the same area. This one should be over here. So you can actually see it right here. It is this little thing. You'll notice the kind of glimmer from it. Or the glow, I should say, not glimmer, but there you go. Goes down pretty quick. And you do want to make sure you get that down before the captain actually comes out. That is kind of important to make sure you have all 3 done so you can actually trigger the heroic. Final one, if you've had those 2, it's going to be right over here on this platform. Trostlands is just a very easy place to do this. A guarantee of what you're going to be seeing and fighting, so just gives you the least amount of questions. So now, fend off the couple of ads. If I could shoot, that'd be good. Lots of guys coming in. Try and get some of those. Now the Glimmer Extractor is going to show up in the back over here, so far from your kind of spawn location. Once that is down, the heroic will get started. Everything will disappear pretty much right there. Don't stand under that, because as it falls, it will definitely kill you. Just like that guy was a pretty close to a prime example. But then at this point, now you just have to stand in this thing and you can kind of kill each other. Well, there's a prime engram, so that works. Really? I don't want to waste a hammer on you. A lot of enemies will spawn from out there. Some will spawn from the back. So wherever they're coming from, just hang out. Now if you get off the glimmer thing, it's fine. Now I will say if you get to run out of time, you know, having struggle, maybe you have to solo this thing. But you can kill like the boss that's going to show up at some point. And you actually can stand on this thing. Even if time runs out, the timer will stay at 0 as long as you stay in this little transmat zone. And you can even finish this thing with 0 timer as long as somebody is standing in this area. So, if you get crunched on time, just, you know, hell or high water, try and stay on this section. And you should be able to finish what you're going for. So now you're going to have the big boy that you're looking for. Now it's time to pull out the big guns. Heavy is about to start dropping. Find this guy, the Wretch Captain. Of course, Thunderlord's going to make mincemeat of him. And I'm sure the particle effects look really fun. Yay. So we'll just hang out. I'll play the guitar while they do their work. It's really not a hard one, just as long as somebody stays here. It takes you about a, you know, minute and a half or so to transmat this thing. Enemies will keep spawning from both over there and behind you. The ones spawning over here are just the ones from the indoor section. Find a nice chain of enemies. You can melt them down pretty quick. When as you kill enemies, more will be spawning, so keep that in mind. And we are done. So the fallen component does spawn. If you've done the Vex event, you'll see the little Vex thing that spawns as well. And then finally, we're going to go do the Hive public event. See if that thing will spawn on the rig for me. Alright, Guardians. So finally, the last public event is going to be the Hive summoning ritual, or witch's ritual. I forget what it's actually called. Off the top of my head, at least. You can have it either on Titan, right here on the rig. If you see it at this location, you are pretty much guaranteed to be that one. And then if you are looking on Mars, it's not going to be this one over here, like kind of around or below the wording of Glacial Drift. It's actually going to be the one above, tucked in this corner. So either way, what you're going to be looking for is this final Hive event. There's not a lot of places for it, so got a few options. I kept walking away having to do stuff, and this thing took me a long time to actually get to catch. So if you're waiting for it, just wait it out. Titan usually goes on a pretty decent rotation. It'll either be here or here and then alternating. Unfortunately, I had a couple misses, but once you catch it, definitely make sure to knock this one out. Basically, all you have to do is, when you're in here, you're going to clear a couple hives that'll be waiting for you. Usually not a big deal. You're going to have 2 platforms. As the event starts, you'll need to stand on each platform to drop the shields off of the wizards. Once the wizards themselves actually die, there's going to be crystals that appear up here and then over here. You need to continue standing on the plates while, once the wizards are down, stand on them long enough, and then you'll be able to get the shield off of the crystal. Once you actually explode both crystals, then you'll have a big giant dude spawn out of a portal, and you kill it, and you're good to go. So, once the actual public event starts, I will jump in there, and I'll see you guys on the inside. Alright guys, we've got about 5 seconds till this thing gets going. One person on one pad, one person on the other. And here we go. So as long as you got one person on each, you should be able to manage it. It's kind of a hard one to solo time-wise, just because you actually have to manage the plates for the crystals quicker. You can do the witches by themselves, kind of in a one after the other sequence, but it is somewhat difficult to get both. So you'll notice once you're standing on the plates, the witches will drop their shields. Once the shields go down on the wizards, then you'll have the big portal show up and you'll see the crystals up in the back. Got to keep standing on the plates so those things actually go, the crystals drop, or the shields on the crystals drop. Focus on the crystals, and then you'll see that this one turns into a heroic. Pretty quick heroic, actually, if it goes fairly smooth. And then, honestly, from here, Rally Barricade, Empowering Rift, and then when Big Boy comes out, just time to go to town on him. You might even push him back in a portal. Watch for the Curse Thrall. It will definitely be trying to ruin your day. Now, if you kind of push him back in the portal, just be aware. He might be in, might be out a little bit. Looks like we got him pretty quick. So yeah, it's really pretty easy. If there's a couple of people around, it goes usually just about that fast. But that is the final of the 3 public events. So let's head back to orbit and see what is next. Alright, Guardians, so once you have the 3 public event heroic versions checked off, Refurbished Izanami Igniter is the next step. So, the Igniter is partially mended but not yet fully repaired. Collect components to repower the Izanami Igniter. So, Blended Ether from Fallen Precision Multi-Kills, which is a rather specific thing. We've got Condensed Blights from Taken Blights in the Lost Sectors on Io. There's a really quick way to do that. I'll show you guys. And then finally, Radiolair and Vapor from the Investigation on Nessus. That's the final piece. So first we're going to do the Fallen Precision Multi-Kills. I'll show you guys a couple places for that. And the Blights are pretty quick. The Vapor Investigation is kind of its own thing. So we're going to head to Trost Land on the EDZ, and this is usually the best place to get started. So here we go. See you guys on the ground. Alright, Guardians, so once you are on the ground in Trost Land, what you're looking for is just groups of fallen enemies. And you need precision, so unfortunately Shanks aren't really going to help you. But a Wretch, that's fine, Dregs, things like that. But you're just going to want to find groups of enemies. Now, sometimes you'll find groups out here, sometimes you'll see the Fallen moving against the Cabal. But there are certain places that I have found where you don't have to fight other people, because there always seems to be somebody in this area. So my advice is to come into this lost sector here. It's literally just in the bottom of the church. Alright, so the other lost sector that's not in the church is this one on the left side. So again, you might even see a point where you can see a Dreg and a Wretch. And you might have a chance to shoot them both. Sadly, I did not. Shanks, unfortunately, will not help you at all. But the lost sector on the left-hand side of this area is one that actually lines the enemies up pretty well. That was the one that I was originally thinking of, but I may as well show you both. The one on the other side, I don't think I like as much. I mean, I'll check it out with you guys on stream if you're watching this live, but for me, I think this is the one I'm thinking of. Because there's a few... Okay, so this is Widow's Walk. This is the one on the left-hand side. If you don't creep out too much, you're going to see quite a few ads right here. See if you can line them up. And then if you can get them to start running at you, you can get quite a few of them pretty quick close together. These guys back here line up really nicely. So there's about 5 or 6. Big Boyle's going to be in the back. Wait for more ads to come in. You kind of want them to get settled or come start getting aggressive with you. And then if you can really start getting them together, get a few of these Blended Ether. So this is my general recommendation for the quick one. So the other one, not quite as many. This one lined up a little bit better. I mean, you can use if you want. One thing you can do, actually, is kind of a fun way to do this. So that you can knock this guy out pretty quick. You'll get a bunch of ads that'll come out right behind him when you walk up here, and you can line these guys up pretty well too. Missed a couple. Yep. And it's hard to get precision kills sometimes. So what am I up to? 35%. So I'm going to do this a few more times in this lost sector specifically, and then we're going to head to Io. I'll see you guys over there on the ground. Alright, Guardians, so Blended Ether for Fallen Precision Multi-Kills. As I was streaming this as well, like the lost sectors I show you worked for me. The Widow's Walk, the one on the left side of Trostland, worked. Some people did it in, you know, the nightclub, if you're going to do that on Tangled Shore. Just anywhere that you can find Fallen Multi-Kills, you can run around and get them. But anywhere you have kind of a consistent collection of a group of enemies that are going to be in a certain place. Lost sectors seem to help those, so that's just my advice on those. So now we are on the section on IO. We're looking for condensed blights from lost sectors on IO. Easiest one to do. You can do it 5 times, pretty quick. If you got a rally flag, get some ammo, you'll be good to go. So, when you land in the rupture, the lost sector straight across is the Sanctum of Bones. So jump on your Sparrow, drive over here. You can almost drive to the Blight, but if you don't quite make it on the Sparrow, you can definitely run by everything. And that's usually what I would advise. So we're going to just run in, and I'm just not going to mess with anything but running straight to this little Blight. So all you got to do is run in here and do this 5 times. I think it's like 20% per. So you have some ads come in, whether you fire a bullet or not. It's not really a big deal or required. Just hang around the left side. You'll have some stuff that spawns in. You'll have some taken around. If you want to shoot them, you can. But generally, if you're a decent level, you should be able to just run right by. And if you're working on a forge, you should be pretty high. Just skip all this stuff. Run up in here. Literally jump over the phalanx and everything if you can get over them, depending on your character class. And then right around this corner is a Blight. Literally jump in, shoot it really quick, knock it out. That'll get you condensed blights. You need 5 of those. And then even get far enough up ahead, then just re-land in the lost sector. Or the landing zone. Back to the rupture. Alright, Guardians, so we're back on landing in the rupture, and that's literally all you have to do. You have to do it 5 times. So, 20%. Again, I'll show you guys a quick run. And you can drive across, jump on your Sparrow. Try not to hit the terrible walls like I do. Sorry, I'm sure on PC that twitching back and forth has got to look wonderful. On console, I was so much of a better Sparrow driver. It's about the only thing I was better at on console than PC. But yeah, just run in here. You can shoot at this stuff, but if you're just going for efficiency, run right by, you should be fine. Sanctum of Bones, come over here. And again, just watch out for the big guys. The Centurions and the Phalanx are the ones that are going to kind of mess you up the moats. The Acolytes, the Scions, those aren't going to be too bad. So keep running through here. Of course, they'll be angry. Whether it's Knights, whether it's the Phalanx, try and clear these 2 if you can. If you keep moving, you should be okay. I'm on my Titan. I might be able to move a little faster. Come in here, do it again. Just run right by, skip all the fun stuff. And 3 more times. So, I'm going to do that a couple more times, and then I'll explain the final piece to you guys where that one's all at. Alright, so once you have burned out on lost sectors for a minute, the radio layer and vapor from the investigation on Nessus. So what you're going to want to do is go to Nessus, and you're going to want to land down here in the cistern, and the quest is literally right in front of you. So once you land, head over here. It's got this little, I don't even know what you'd call it, little drone box thing. So we're going to go ahead and start this mission, and we'll get this thing going. This is called Rekindle the Flames, Refurbished Izanami Igniter. Alright, Guardians, so once you start the mission, we're going to go ahead and follow our good old GPS dot. Drive over here. Follow the Vex energy signatures to locate the nodes. So here, first, you're going to have to probably clear out just a couple of ads. I think you're probably in your own instance on this one, because I don't typically see a whole lot of other people out here. So everybody seems to get their own version of Nessus on this one. Now, if you're with a fire team, you can definitely do this. But if you're not, it's going to be solo. What's up, C-Comp? How you doing, man? Talking to some of those guys who are tuning in live on Twitch. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can follow me, right? It's just Ebontis on Twitch, just like everything else. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, it's always all the same stuff. So that way you guys can catch me live when I'm doing crazy recordings or Nightfall solos or whatever's going on. But as you guys are working through, you notice there's a lot of crap that spawns. So working from up here is probably not a terrible idea, it seems. Gives you some flexibility and some ability to stay alive. Thunderlord does tend to be effective at killing just about everything. Alright. Well, I have about a gazillion bullets of shotgun ammo on the ground, and here's where things begin to change. So you'll notice you'll have these platforms, and then also these crystals. Now here's the thing. Usually whatever the crystal, when you shoot the crystal, it makes a platform. It's a temporary platform. So this one, I can see it right now forever, so I can come and jump and land on it. But you'll notice if I shoot this one, this platform will appear and a new crystal appears. But you'll notice, fades out pretty quick. Now the old crystal will come back. Give it a second. And it's back. Now, this is one of those things where I can actually see both crystals now. So if I really want to make it easy, 1, 2, I can jump, and we got a third one. So you got to be ready to land and shoot and actually trust that there's going to be a platform there. Some of it's just hopefully going to be able to be something where you guys can watch the video and know where to look for it. Other times you might just need to shoot some of the crystals, see which way you're going to have to go, and then do the jumping puzzle. So once you get over there, fly across the joyful trajectory that we've got here. And you're going to have a few ads, so let's take those out. Gather Vex energy. By shooting things in the face. I can do that. Minotaurs, of course, your big ones to fight. Watch for a few stragglers. Clear out your radar. And you should be pretty good. Alright. So now I gotta get up to that platform. So, best place to start, right up here. And if you want to see the path, you can shoot the crystals first. So you got that one. That one. And this one appears just to be 2. So, let these settle out for a second, and then we'll shoot the crystals again. Now I know I'm going through this the longer way. If you guys want to skip ahead, this is the general idea the whole way through. Some are quicker than others, it's really up to you. But, shoot one. See the other one appear, shoot the other. You can at least get an idea where you're headed before you actually start making the jumps. You can make this jump, make it a pretty high double jump though, so you can get up onto the platform. And this is going to be the first of 3 that you actually have to hack. As you hack one of these little Vex things, you're going to need to just keep your head on a swivel because there are going to be enemies spawning around you, so just wait for those. It's doing its siphoning thing. You can't really go too far away. You're only on a small platform. I don't know where the ads spawn. Apparently 1/3, and you'll get the little Vex noises that enemies are coming. Not too bad. Just be ready. I mean, if you run around with a shotgun, you'll probably do all right. Get a little bit more. Come in. Can't let you have it too easy. I mean, Thunderlord would make mincemeat of these guys, so I'll use that on the next one. So once the first one is done, you'll notice you'll have new crystals to shoot. Now, I don't know if it's quite this one or the next one, but you've also got some ads up there. If you can actually get a shot on some of those and take them out before you get up there, it's going to make your landing a little bit easier. So if you can, why not? Cool. So, now from here, you're going to have crystal 1. And you're going to have a double crystal that you need to shoot. And those are the only 2 platforms on this one. These 2 are kind of a get ready for the fun part. So we'll wait for those 2 to go down. Got a single. Got the 2 together. And we're going to go for the jumps quick. And again, I'm running tight and strafe jump. You're going to want something that covers ground relatively quickly. And same principle as before. Hack the conflux. Times 2. So Con Eveg, thank you for tuning in, and you are welcome for the videos. Glad you guys enjoy them. I do these so hopefully you guys can, if you're a solo player, team player, just new to Destiny, or just want a little bit of help, that's what these videos are for. So thank you guys always for tuning in, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's just saying hey in a tweet, whatever you're doing. So you're going to have a couple snipers on this one on that rock, and if you turn around, you got one up behind you up here. Those are the only 2 snipers on this one to watch out for. Waiting for regular ads should be okay here. So Rampage on this one probably makes it look a little easy, but that's why I love this gun. So, alright, so this is where it's going to get a little bit longer. So, that's eventually where we're going. Now, if you had a sniper, you could shoot him, but really, you've got some time. So, I'm going to show you guys. We got Crystal 1. Then you got a duo over here. That one goes up. And then, it gets interesting. Because you got this crystal here, which is going to make one down below, which you've got to fall down to. You got this one over here to the right. And you got this one out here. And you got a trio. And I think, yep, there's one more there. And I believe that's the final platform before you get up. So it's about a 7 platform jump here. So if you're running by yourself, this could be a little annoying because it's kind of hard to do it all. Now you'll notice though, actually, as I've shot them all once, you'll notice all the crystals are actually sitting there available to be able to to be shot. So you're not landing, waiting for it to appear the first time. So if you want to make this easier on yourself, shoot them all first, and then do what I'm about to do. So, pick one. And I'm almost going to be jumping before they're even showing up, just because if you have an idea where to look, you know where to go. This one will be the one that goes down, so look for that one. It's going to be a farther jump. Catch your jump, turn to the right. Catch this one. Platform floating out there. That one. And you really got to kind of be on your game here because you don't have much time. You notice that platform is almost disappearing by the time I shot those three. It's probably the hardest one to do. Come over here to this big platform. You can even throw a grenade up there and then make sure you get some height. Try and land somewhere where you're safe, not going to get knocked off by any like random melees. And we've made it over here to the third one. So, go ahead and hack this terminal. Get that going. Find your straggler out here in the back. So again, it looks like we're going to have some snipers that do spawn, so watch out for those. Nope, never mind, big guy. So you're going to bring out the heavy stuff for the Cyclops, because that will just totally mess you up. Couple quick kills. Watch for, of course, the hobgoblins. Snipers are tough. This is the last one. If you've made all the jumps, you don't want to die here. So whether you stay alive with a super, machine gun, something powerful is going to be important so you can just survive all of this. You don't want to get over here, all the crazy jumps if those were a struggle, and then just croak from that. So Vex energy has been gathered, and you're good to go. So let's head back to orbit, and we'll see what the next step is. Alright, Guardians, so after you finish that quest step, we're going to see repowered Izanami Igniter. We've got to use the Volunder Forge to repower it. So, yeah. Go do a Volunder Forge completion. I'm going to skip over that one. You guys can look at my previous videos for what that's all about. So I'm going to finish that one up and then get to the next step. Alright, Guardians, so once you have done your Volunder Forge ignition, it's going to say return to Ada. So that's where we're going.
Something's still missing. There is one thing that comes to mind. Tough to come by. But then again, that's the kind of thing you're built for.
Ada 1 notes you've collected almost all the proper components to fully repair the igniter, but one special component is missing. Complete an advanced version of the Insight Terminus to complete the Izanami Forge igniter. So, this is the final piece. Mostly. For weapon frames and things like that. So this is where I'm going to wrap up this video because the next video is going to literally be its own thing. So you have to run the Insight Terminus. It's a Nightfall. There's modifiers on it, so that's going to be a whole different discussion about the build and everything else. So this is where I'm going to wrap this one up. The modifiers on that one are going to be like Void, Grenadier, Blackout, and Extinguish, or something insane like that. And it's at about 6:30, so there's no way to even get to the Izanami Forge without doing that one. So that's why you'll notice that most people in the Go Fanon or the Izanami Forge, once you get them open, are pretty high level. It's just that first week was a struggle with the Volunder Forge. But if you guys got this far into the video and you actually made it through all of my ramblings, thank you guys. Hope this video was helpful for you. And the next video is going to be a solo run of that Nightfall. So, going to work on that build and everything to hopefully let you guys have some success in that one. But other than that, you guys know where to find me. It's on Twitter and on Twitch. It's Ebontis on both. If you haven't followed me on those, you can see what's either going on my Twitter, which could be anything, including some of my random cooking antics on Twitch. I'm doing some of this recording live. And then, of course, right here on YouTube, we are close to 30,000 subs. Not going to quite make the New Year's run, but we are close. Got some stuff looking forward to in March I've got. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel, guys. If you haven't subbed yet, please do so. I will keep the content coming. And there's games like Anthem and Division 2 that I'm going to be covering as well. So stay tuned for those. Lots of fun stuff to come. So I will see you guys soon, and you guys have been awesome.